What's going on, you guys? The Keith Carnes here, bringing you a movie review this time. It's been a long time since I've reviewed anything. Actually, I think my last review was on the Carrie remake, so I think it's been a couple months since my last review. Nonetheless, we're here with a new review. This time we're reviewing The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is currently in theaters worldwide, and I just got through watching it. It is 5 in the morning here. The movie was 2 hours and 9 minutes. And I just literally got through watching it and decided, hey, I'll make a review while it's still fresh in my head. So let's get on. Oh, and I want to stress this enough. It's going to be in the, obviously it's in the title that there are spoilers. This is a spoiler review. Therefore, if you have not seen The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and or you don't want it to be spoiled for you, do not continue on. Click off the video now. If you have seen the movie or you haven't seen the movie and you just don't care and you want to hear, then thank you for viewing and let's get on with it. So The Amazing Spider-Man 2 continues the story of Peter Parker, as you all know, who has become Spider-Man. And the movie starts out pretty much with Spider-Man facing off against Rhino in the very beginning of the movie, which actually caught me kind of off guard because I didn't expect that to be in the very beginning of the movie. I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. I mean, he's already, with one of the main villains of the movie, or who I thought was going to be one of the main villains of the movie, and it was a pretty cool action scene between the two. Now, I don't know what was up with this movie, but this movie really liked cracking constant jokes, like just repeatedly having Spider-Man just say the most corniest, cheesiest jokes to the point where it almost got annoying. And he does it throughout the entire movie while he's, in the suit. And he's doing it during even big fights, like against Electro in the end of the movie. It's just like, I mean, the only one he didn't seem to pull the jokes with was when he faced off against the new Green Goblin, Harry Osborn. That was the only one where he didn't throw jokes around, which of course was necessary because it was a more serious fight. But I didn't like that about the movie. I thought him constantly cracking jokes, it was like the movie was just trying to get a cheap laugh from the audience, like trying to add comedy in there, but almost trying too hard, because it was just like, okay, we get it, I'm supposed to laugh at that, but it's not making me laugh. It's not working. And that's how I felt with that. It was almost awkwardly bad. So really my biggest con with this movie was it was just really draggy. In the beginning of the movie, Rhino, he gets captured almost instantly and humiliated. And it was kind of like, okay, what was the point in advertising the Rhino in so many previews and everything if you're just going to take him out pretty much immediately in the movie? I mean, they took him out of the movie like that. It was done like that, and you're just like, wow, the Rhino was completely pointless to even advertise. But my biggest con with this movie was it was really slow. I mean, there was a lack of action, and it's like, whoa, this is a Spider-Man movie, and there's like no action in it, literally. I mean, it's over 2 hours long. It's 2 hours and 9 minutes, and you're just like, out of 2 hours and 9 minutes, we had Rhino versus Spider-Man, Spider-Man versus Electro 1, Spider-Man versus Electro 2, and then Spider-Man versus the Green Goblin, which was extremely brief. That's it? Really? And it was just, I don't know, I mean, I'm not saying the movie was bad, it was just, I'm really dumbfounded by the amount of how the first movie was really hated on by a lot of people because it just dragged, and then they had an opportunity and they brought in 3 villains and they just completely kind of dropped the ball. Now, I will say this, Electro was badass. I loved Jamie Foxx's performance. He is Electro, and the Electro character itself was just epic. The fight sequence between Spider-Man in the first fight in Times Square and then the second fight at Oscorp was just fantastic, and I really enjoyed watching them go back and forth. And I liked the way they killed off Electro. It was definitely well done, and it wasn't like, really, that's it? He died that fast, or that's how he died now. It was pretty cool. I liked it. The Green Goblin was pretty off the charts cool. I really liked Harry Osborn. Now, I already knew what to expect with Harry being transforming into the Green Goblin because I had already seen pictures of him through spoilers, so I wasn't surprised by his appearance. But it was really cool. I liked it because, compared to the Harry Osborn Green Goblin that we had from the first trilogy, it was definitely a nice upgrade. The best way I could describe it, really. And it was a lot better. So thumbs up to those two characters. Rhino, I'm not really feeling Rhino. Rhino was just really kind of boring to me, kind of stupid. And I do love Paul Giamatti. He's a great actor. He's been in a lot of good stuff, and as I said, he's a great actor. But just as Rhino, it's just kind of like, nah. I mean, I'm not saying he didn't pull off the character. It's just the character itself was just kind of like, he's boring. Why even put him in the movie? I know that the Sinister Six movie is going to come out, and it's supposed to have like Venom and shit in it, I think, or something like that. And obviously he's going to be a part of that, as in the end of this movie it ends with he and Spider-Man fighting. But no, I didn't really care for the character. And then of course we saw the death of Gwen Stacy, which was actually kind of surprising to me. Now I knew she was going to die, but I didn't think she was going to die in this movie. And I had also heard rumors before this movie came out that she was actually supposed to be killed off in the third movie, which I'm guessing is coming out in maybe 2016 if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I mean, I didn't really like her dying at the end, because it kind of leaves you with a kind of a downer. You're just kind of like, oh, she's dead, and Spider-Man's sad. That kind of sucks. And they kind of redeemed it with, the Rhino and Spider-Man returning after, 5 months of absence. They kind of redeemed it, because you're like, oh, Spider-Man's back. It's kind of a high note ending, but you're still kind of like, yeah, but Gwen's dead. That's sad, because they never really got to be in love together. And, I know it's cheesy coming from a guy, but it's just kind of like, really? I don't know. But anyway, guys, I want to wrap this up. We're already at about 7 minutes. So my initial thought on the movie was it was a good movie. I know I said more negative than positive, and the only reason I put more negative out there is because I want people to know that the reason I'm going to give this movie a 3.5 out of 5 instead of giving it a solid 4 out of 5 is just simply because this movie lacked what it needed most, and that was action. The bad jokes was just like, ugh. But it did get pluses. Electro and the Green Goblin were fantastic characters. I liked how they showed what happened to the parents finally. They didn't have to drag that into a third movie. Gwen Stacy dying was a surprise, so I like that unpredictability. That definitely gives it a plus. But unfortunately, with so much dragging, I would definitely have to put this movie at 3.5 out of 5. I would definitely own it someday, but definitely would not pay full price for this movie. I enjoyed it, but there was times when I'm just like, can we just get to the end already? And yeah, so that's my review, 3.5 out of 5. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought of The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Peace.